Hi, welcome to the Amber Shows. I'm in the bed. This is the show from the bed. Okay, so it's Tuesday, and I'm so happy to see you. And it was too hot to do my show outside earlier, and now that I've gotten in the bed, I decided I should do my show now. So, because I had a lot of stuff I did want to tell you guys. All right, so the first thing I want to say is they're still on the run. Is this Shawshank Redemption or what? Oh my God. David Sweat and Richard Matt. They are the inmates that escaped from Clinton Correctional Facility on Friday. They're still on the run. Governor Cuomo went to the prison to look around and see the hole that they drilled through and crawled through. And they asked all the inmates, well, didn't anybody hear all that drilling? All the inmates said they sleep. They sleep hard. They was like, I ain't hear nothing because I ain't trying to get killed because they are very dangerous criminals, and if they get caught and come back in there, you'll be got yourself killed. So I don't blame them. They can't collect that $100,000 reward, so there ain't nothing to even talk about because there is $100,000 reward for those guys. They're probably in Canada. One is tied to Mexico. They're also saying that a female inmate, she may be involved because one of the guys that escaped, he supposedly was a real ladies' man, like I guess a real correction officer's man. So she could be involved. The COs are in trouble because nobody heard or seen anything supposedly, and they even checked like the construction workers who come in. They asked them about did they have any tools missing or anything, but they didn't see any tools missing, and there were no tools missing from the shops in the prison. So these guys, they something else. They are something else. So beware in case you run into them. They ain't no joke. All right. What about this cop that pulled the gun on the kids in McKinney, Texas? That's crazy. Okay, first off, it was a pool party at a public pool. Okay, and it was supposedly in the suburbs. And the a white kid made a remark to the black kids who was having the pool party, like go back to your own project, go back to the projects or Section 8 where you live. And that's how the fight got started. Then when the police came, they slammed a 15-year-old girl's head into the ground. Her brother and some other boys was trying to come to her rescue. The cop pulled out a gun on all of them. If it wasn't for the cops' backup team who ran up to him and knocked his arms down, he would have shot those kids. It was crazy. So anyway, Minister Farrakhan's team of bodyguards are now called the New Black Panthers. Well, they have shown up in McKinney because there were white people in McKinney who were being interviewed on television who were saying that the cop was completely right, that they did the right thing. And then the father of the black girl her head was slammed to the ground, he's going to be suing, I'm sure, the police department there. Um, what else did I want to tell you? Oh, Apple's latest new thing now is about hacking. Because see, people phones get hacked all the time. Like, the Chinese, the Russians, the Germans, they're really good. They're doing this hacking. They're hacking credit cards from, when you go to certain stores like Target and everything, and they're hacking bank accounts like what happened to Bank of America. So now iPhones, the iPhone company, the Apple company who makes iPhones, have come up with something different so that it will be harder to be hacked. The iPhones can be hacked very easily, smartphones, and a lot of people are doing it. And of course, they're getting all your information because you could have your banking on your phone, you could have your passwords, your personal information, all your pictures, all kinds of things. So they're getting all of your information. So Apple has a 4-digit passcode right now on their phones where it's like a pass lock. So your phone will lock after a certain time, and then the hackers can actually there's like 300,000 ways to hack into a 4-digit passcode. So like 1 in 10,000 people on the iPhone their phones can be hacked. Apple is now going to have an 8-digit passcode lock, so that way it'll be 1 in 1 million can hack your phone. And now the police weren't happy about that because if they're trying, like say you were arrested for something and they needed to get into your phone will lock down and cannot be opened. So they can't get the information out of the phone. Say if you were a pedophile or something, they wanted to get information if you were calling boys or girls, whatever pedophiles do, they won't be able to get into it. So the police force enforcement are not happy about this particular situation. But Apple is saying they're trying to protect their customers. So no more 4-digit passcodes. It will be a 6-digit or 8-digit passcode, and that's coming really soon. Also, there was a heavy metal band, black band, Young Boys, on The View today. I could not get their name, and I've tried to Google them, and I can't seem to find them. I'll have to continue on that. But it was really interesting. They were very good. That's surprising because you never see, heavy metal black kids, and they look like really smart, intelligent kids. They were very good. So if anybody can find out who they were, please let me know. Anthony Riley on The Voice. He was on season 8. Actually, he was the fastest. He was the contestant who had the fastest turnaround. All 4 judges hit their buttons at the same time and turned around. They wanted him. That's how good he was. And he committed suicide yesterday, sadly to say. He sang the song on their James Brown's I Feel Good. And he really turned it out. He was from Philadelphia. And he had quit the show once he was, Pharrell got him. Was the one who got him and was mentoring him. And then he quit all of a sudden. He said that he had a substance abuse problem that he wanted to take care of. And he was found at a friend's home where he killed himself yesterday. So I'm sorry to hear that. And that's Anthony Riley, who was on The View. 2 movies that came out this weekend. The movie Spy and Jurassic World will be coming next weekend. But Spy and the Rock's movie came out this weekend. There was another movie that came out too they thought was going to be real big. Well, anyway, Spy took everything. Spy made all the money this weekend. They made $30 million, and I hear it's really, really, really funny. Jurassic World is coming out this weekend, and I definitely want to see that as well. There's been a social experiment. It's called the Shame Game. It's in. They did it in Bryant Park, Brooklyn, last weekend. They call it a drive-by harassment. You know how like when we walk down the street and you go, girls, we females, and it's a construction site or something, and guys like they'll harass you like, hey baby, hey, you look good, whatever. Or you could even be walking down the street, getting out your car, and guys might whistle at you when you're walking, or guys in other cars going past want to stop and holler at you, or say your butt look good, you're fine, or whatever. Well, these girls got together and decided to do this social experiment where it's called the Shame Game, and they actually drive by and harass men. Instead of driving past, they actually walk past and just randomly, really and truly, they went up to men and just whispered in their ear. They were saying stuff like, I want to fuck, that dick, and I want to destroy your dick, or I want to fuck you. And the reaction were all smiles from ear to ear. The men completely embraced it. None of the men, after they did the experiment and they went back to talk to them and let them know that it was actually just a social experiment to see how men would react to women whispering those things in their ear, all the men loved it. Just proved men are just all pigs. Or they were saying that because they don't get it all the time, that, maybe that's why they liked it. Because men don't get that all the time, like how women do. So that could have been it too. Jeb Bush, who's running for president, and that's George Bush Jr.'s brother, and George Bush Sr. and Barbara Bush's son, retired Jeb Bush. Well, Republican. Well, let me tell you this. He wrote a book, and he said in the book that all should be public shaming should be allowed in the world. That unwed mothers, misbehaving teenagers, and welfare recipients it should all be publicly shamed. He said it would be an effective way to regulate their irresponsible behavior. Now, he wrote the book in 1995, but this is coming out now, and it's unbelievable. He said public shaming. He might as well said you might as well have public hangings. He is, don't vote for him, y'all. You know, I'm telling you, even you Republicans who are watching the show, don't vote for him. Flip-flop safety. Don't drive with flip-flops on. That's not, it could slip off your foot, could get caught up underneath a brake or the accelerator. Flip-flops also, there are almost 1,500,000 people who go to the ER every year for foot-related accidents, and many 38,000 of those people had flip-flop accidents. Flip-flops, they're very thin. If you're not watching where you're going, you could step on glass. You can trip on a sidewalk. If you're going to get flip-flops, watch where you're walking. If you're going to wear them, they said you should change your flip-flops at least every 2 to 3 months because, first of all, they're cheap, and then secondly, they wear down, that rubber. And they're really bad for your feet. They're bad for your ankles, your Achilles tendon. So you might want to not get any flip-flops. Okay, you guys, it's time for me to start watching my programs. Have a good night. Plus, I got to get up early tomorrow. So you guys have a good night. Thank you for coming to the Amber Shows. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Good night, you guys. Night, night.